I'm Stuart Sawyer, and I'm here today with our guest, Public Relations Specialist for Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity, Sharon Rolenc. Welcome.
Thank you, Stuart. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about the history and background of Habitat for Humanity, and we're also celebrating a little anniversary.
Yeah, a milestone. Yes. Certainly. Well, Habitat for Humanity International was started a little over 30 years ago in Americus, Georgia, and it really has blossomed into a worldwide movement. And now there's over 1,600 affiliates here just in the United States. We're one of those affiliates, and we started back in 1985 and closed on our first home in 1986. And those early years, we did primarily rehabilitations, and we started with one home, and then we did 2 homes, and then we blossomed to 5 homes, 10 homes, and on and on. And currently we do about 50 homes a year in our home building program. And we, in addition to our home building program, which is what people traditionally think of when they think of Habitat, we also do a neighborhood revitalization program called A Brush with Kindness, which means that we help existing homeowners from the community stay in their homes. And I'll give you an example of that. Say there's an elderly homeowner that's on a fixed income, and their home needs some repairs, and they get a citation from the city. Our program is a program that can step in and negotiate the timeline with the city and get those repairs done to the home and enable that homeowner to, restore that sense of pride and dignity in being a homeowner, and save that home basically from, racking up fines and repair issues to the point where, perhaps that homeowner could no longer afford to live in that home. So that's one of the programs that we do as well. And
obviously your focus on promoting home ownership and pride of home ownership is important for you. What is your mission? What is Habitat for Humanity's mission? What are the overall goal here?
Sure. Well, the mission of the Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity is to eliminate poverty housing in the Twin Cities Metro and to make home ownership a matter of conscience for all, or at affordable housing.
Affordable. Outstanding. And you mentioned, I didn't know this before, that Habitat for Humanity also is involved in home ownership financing.
Yes. Our homeowners are homeowners that pay a mortgage, and Habitat is the bank. So we issue the mortgage, and the payments are 30% or less of the family's income, and at a 0% fixed rate.
Wow, that's 0%.
You can't get any better than that.
Can't get any better than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You also said, what are sort of the minimum qualifications for that, for someone who's listening and saying, "Wow, that sounds pretty great." I mean, what would, is it tough to qualify? Tell me.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, number one, you have to meet the need. We choose families based on 3 criteria: need, the willingness to partner, and the ability to pay their mortgage. And so with the need aspect, they have to meet our income guidelines, which for a family of 6, we'll go with family 6 rather than the family of 4 that a lot of housing organizations use as an example, because our homeowners tend to come from larger families. For family of 6, that income range would fall roughly between about $28,100 and X dollars to about $46,000, and give or take a few dollars. And people can get the exact income guidelines by calling our office or going on our website, but they need to meet those income guidelines. They have to have been residents of the Twin Cities for at least a year. They have to demonstrate that they have stable credit. Okay, so if they're concerned about bad credit, we look at every case on a case-by-case basis. So you know, if you're worried about your credit, it's better to ask rather than to assume that you're not going to qualify. You know, and they have to be willing to partner by putting 300 to 500 hours of sweat equity into the homes.
Pretty reasonable things.
Pretty reasonable things.
Yeah.
As well, all of our home buyers go through 11 home buyer education classes. And these classes cover topics ranging from understanding your mortgage and budgeting to landscaping and how to maintain your home, how to be a good neighbor. You know, education that we want to equip with, equip our homeowners with.
Yeah. And you also, I'm also wondering, as the bank, how is that playing out with the current housing and credit crisis or economy problems?
Well, that's probably the good news about Habitat right now is we're doing pretty good. You know, where other housing developers, particularly other nonprofit developers that partner with banks for their mortgages, and they're suffering right now with the housing industry the way it is, but Habitat, because we are in essence the bank and we issue our own mortgages, we're doing just fine.
That's wonderful.
And I guess too the message we'd like to get out to the community, you know, to groups that might be thinking of volunteering or donating to municipal you know, public officials out there, is that, you know, we're a trusted resource. We've got a track record of successful homeownership, and you know, people can feel confident that our families are going to be invested in the community and be there for the long haul.
And you're also always willing to take volunteers, both individual and corporate partners?
Absolutely. During our peak construction season, most of the volunteers that are on the construction site come with sponsoring groups. So, and those sponsoring groups can be, you know, anywhere from a corporate sponsor to a church. We have church coalitions. We have schools. We have, and we've had a neighborhood group. There was a neighborhood in Edina that all pooled their resources. Decided not to buy Christmas cards one year, and they raised $70,000 and were a primary house sponsor. So, yeah, it's you know, the beauty of Habitat is that it brings together people from all different kinds of backgrounds and beliefs and philosophies. It brings everybody together for the common goal of eliminating poverty housing.
That's wonderful. Well, it looks like we're out of time here. I'd like to congratulate you on your 700th home.
Okay,
right?
thank you.
And best of success for Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity.
Thank you so much.